Now, there's no Vipers on either side, so it's looking like this is going to be a little bit more of an explosive game because we're going to be seeing past a lot of these angles and able to fight for mains a lot more easily. But we're in this pistol round here. 3 of these players on mask, ready to use that tether nade combo right away, unless that's a haunt, and fight for this C-long push.
That is going to be a haunt on the first one, pinging just a single player. MOX are going to have to work back towards the chamber side of the map. Actually, changing their minds. Maybe looking for the refight. Let's see how much utility they actually want to invest here when the smoke fades away. Saturate to lead it off, and the undercut, as Blair decides against sticking around. And yeah, MOX are just going to try and abandon this area entirely, realizing how many players are on this side of the map. They're going to run towards A.
Yeah, and there's nothing holding this A except for a chamber trip and Zoe holding this down. They do have those bullets, though, in that Sheriff trying to get one sneaky pick, but the whole roster of Mask has already rotated to this A side.
Yeah, the door being closed permanently makes it a lot easier for MOX to hold on to this post plant. They fight very far forward. Blair here just looking to find someone's head. As the paranoia pushes away the teammates, Blair is there, and Blair is down, as a matter of fact. It's surprising, as now another player steps up. MOX are a little bit fighting individually, and that's because 2 players have been pushed off from the site. Were separated from their teammates, unable to support. That's going to mean that Mask just get onto the spike and hold it down. 4 players survive here on very limited HP, mind you, but a pistol round all the same.
Yeah, Mask being really proactive there. Zoe playing it really well, playing all the way back, knowing that they can't really go for a fight, dropping that numbers and giving the site up completely. So able to call that rotate in a lot quicker. They started it off pretty strong already under getting a lot of that information towards C, using that nade, using that util to kind of make sure that no one can take that fight. And I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of that from Mass. They tended to do that a lot towards that Sen Otter game, just being a little bit more aggressive, trying to get that information. They're opting to do it again this round, and MOX, they're going to be faced by this.
Once again, the same pattern. Blair had the force up of the Outlaw, but doesn't find any shots. And so early control from the defense side. MOX is correctly looking towards the weaker area on B, but it's always a concern here because of the tap of the door can just open up the players to their flank. This pop could be scary in just a moment. Tapping the door actually invites the reclear from the defense side, and Chiu's gonna, well, not quite live to regret it because they're already down, and now the push in from the other extremities too. With A and C side sprinting on in. Mask not letting MOX breathe at all. A flawless start to the second round.
Yeah, that spike being dropped there. Really nice crunch. And honestly, MOX invited Mask in. Like you said, they were so ready for that and completely prepared. I think so far I'm really liking the way that they're playing around this map, playing aggressive or at least strong towards that C side and B side, being able to capitalize on those kind of trap plays or fast rotates should they need it, just leaving Zoe alone on an island on that A side. But going into this next round, a little bit of a tech pause. But we have 3 rifles on the side of MOX. They're obviously going to go into that buy and be able to play it really well. And then on Mass, they're keeping that bonus, trying to get as many guns down as possible. So it's going to be really nice when we see Zoe with that Outlaw trying to get a couple picks or at least as much damage as possible. Because again, Ender, there's no Viper Wall from either of these teams.
Yeah, that's a big thing we have to talk about. I was told that we are having some player lag problems. That's why we're taking the brief tech pause here. But that gives us a chance to talk about, I think, how MOX is supposed to play this attack side without a Viper, and also specifically because Mask's comp, they have the chamber for controlling one side, and then are seemingly always going to be fighting as a pack pretty aggressively with their raise ISO fade.
Yeah, and I think it's hard when you just fast rotate off of that too. They can't really find the right timings. They do have a Vice to be able to stop the flanks, but it still means that at some point they will have to contest that aggro fight and be able to shut it down to at least push them back so they don't have full information at the beginning of the round.
Oh man, Blair on 10 HP, and Rotten steps up the Outlaw Marshall combo to pick off the enemy duelist. Luckily, Fate is still there, so throws out the push wall to buy some purchase back onto this C site. Mask have pushed 3 players all the way through A. That heavy fight will end up running into a Vise wall guarding the flank. And MOX are going to have to make some big decisions off of that information to fight on in there. Nice shot from Zoe. And now MOX, where do they go from here? They're kind of punched in on 2 different angles. Monarch in a brutal position. It's just Simulacrad left, and not even for that long. Every single match we've cast today so far, Athena, has been a 3-0 start. Our team's converting their bonus rounds.
Yeah, we need to study these bonus rounds because they're also really, really good. Not only at getting the picks and trading that round every single time, but they almost have 3 or 4 majority of the team alive at the end of the round, so they can actually capitalize off of that economy, keeping those weapons to themselves. It's really nice to see. Again, this is the team on Mass side that took Otters to an overtime 17-15. It's going to be really interesting to see how MOX kind of adapt to this. But on this side, Swerve now with that Odin holding it down towards that A side. And MOX, they're just going to try to go for the C fight once again, but they're going to be met by this Outlaw.
This time there's no one-way thrown for Mask. That's the difference, and, well, one bullet was tanked up by the ISO shield, the other goes straight into Blair's chest. 10 HP remain on the Waylay. Now a crossfire to convert back into. Teleport away as Mask choose not to box themselves into the corner. Now with the shotgun, diving into the site is so difficult, but they might still try when the smoke clears.
I think cutting noise here is a really good thing because you're just holding, trying to see if there's any re-aggression and not giving it away. But as I say that, they start to execute.
Now they step in. Only one player though. Blair's just sending it on virtually non-existent HP. Good utility. Try and isolate the fights. I think on a round where there's some guns available, it might make a difference. But on one like this, Rotten will just sit you down. The ace out of the Omen to keep this ball rolling.
Hey, an ace is an ace. Okay, doesn't matter if it's on an eco, that still means that your positioning is really good, the util, and of course the mechanics are there. Really well played by Rotten, and for MOX at this point, I mean, I would be taking a timeout to kind of understand what we could do. And as I say that, the timeout does come in because they need to talk about how they're going to contest this aggression using at least that fade tether or an omen blind, or being able to kind of use the waylay in a way that they're able to get all the way up but refract without dying. It's really hard. And I think their answer kind of lies within the util. It has to be either that ISO push wall or the haunt, or just a combination of all these things that they have on their util side, because they're getting punished so hard, Ender, and it's not looking too good. They're not able to get any of that aggression. They're not able to get any of the map control. The most they've gotten is on that pistol round where they had the front B control, but tapping that door invited all of Mask in to kind of get the trade. So now maybe we're going to see something towards that A site now that they know that they've been playing it a little bit weaker. They got onto the C site the one round that Mask was playing it weak side, but the retake was just so good. It was there. It was on their bonus, so they just managed to close it out for them. But man, this is a little bit hard, and I think setting someone up and being able to deposit them towards that rubble to just be a menace might be one of the main things too to look for here.
If I remember right, this is something that you and Imi were talking about on the desk, like, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Like, playing without the Viper, like, you need to be attacking rubble early on because it's so hard to step back into the space. And I think you're seeing why that's important in a match like this. MOX have not really been playing with much map control. And this round as well, trying to activate up B. An early Nightfall will slow them down, but I think Monarch had ideas to maybe pivot back C anyways, but the rotates are coming in really quickly. Feels a little bit laggy out from Monarch, not committing into any side just yet. And now just, I suppose, taking Orb to give Fate the ultimate. Going for the kidnap. That, of course, will bring Fate up to full HP. It's an honest duel in the pit, and that's the way to get back into the round. Not punished at all, and there's no follow-up fighting into sand.
Rotating all the way towards that A. The rotates are so fast, though, from Mask. We've said this before. That door is not going to be broken just yet, but the whole site is open. They just don't know it yet for Monarch.
Yeah, Monarch working their way in, but the retake could come in pretty quickly.
30 seconds left.
No real ultimates to work off massively, and now as Snowy is going to drop it, Swerve, Odin in hand, trying to satchel in this site. Pulls out a Nightfall from Chiyu. Mask needs something big here to keep the perfect game going. Hold on, it's a full defuse, and Logic Run just win out 1v2s on opposite ends.
Oh my god, that was actually insane. The confidence in sticking that and being able to get that retake was actually really nice. And Rotten, 10-0 ender. This player has been going off this game. They did not come here to get eliminated today. They're here to play. And that was kind of just a little glimpse at how good they've been playing so far in this Swiss stage. But now, MOX, man, they really struggled. They had all the right reads. They got the ping pongs. They pulled the rotates. They got the site, but that post plant just fell apart right at the end.
Well, it's over to the Rebel fight. MOX changed their tune, but it's also round with 5 Sheriffs. I suppose the good news is Zoe's on 49 HP. Bad news is, Rotten, she's already over towards this A site. That scoreline absolutely menacing. Fate was getting real active going up the zip line. And the Paranoia at the ready. Hard to play off that with a good counter Paranoia from Rotten. And now the one-on-one. Fate choosing to step into that one and will be shut out of it. Snowy will take them out. Now Mask work back into the site. These satchels here, and the Odin as well. Is Swerve ever going to let go of the trigger? I don't even think so. Come on. Unloading all 100 bullets. Just having some fun out there.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit like a steamroll here. Monarch, they really need to get back on the same page because so many of those fights, yes, it was an eco, but so many of those fights could have been had together with a partner peeking simultaneously or 3-2-1ing those swings. Just a little bit hard for them, but I think now is the time they need to come back into this. It is a rifle round. They only have the Omen ult, which isn't going to be that much to work with, but they can fight for this Rebel. They're on the right side this time. It is the weak side. So are they going to be able to get onto site and play maybe a little bit aggressive in their post plants to punish those really fast rotations?
It's the weak side, but the weak side also has an operator. Oh, nearly takes some hair off the top of Fate's head on the jump peak, but Zoe will fall away. And, okay, Willow's just trading out on B, and this fight forward continues. Monarch's plan is just fight, 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 advance on in, flipping the map as they take control towards spawn. And after MOX deliver the first death to Logic, they're going to need to give Rotten her own first death as well to win this round. Snowy shield. Best Blair. But Fate's position is nice. Tucked underneath Heaven. And Snowy is clearing that? Come on! Mask now into the site. Pressure onto the spike. Swerve's Odin is still there and is never letting go. It's brutal.
That round was the closest again that Monarchs has gotten to having a really good round and being able to finally convert into one win under their belt. But the retake was so nice. Swerve popping that ult, being able to get that result around that corner of pit and clear under Heaven, and just at the same time Snowy clearing it together. The timing was really nice there. And again, this beast of Rotten, 11-0. The final boss has not fallen yet, but Monarchs, that's not going to make them back down from this A main fight. They know there might be an operator here once again. They're opting to take this slow and contact in.
Zoe's kind of out a little wider than you normally expect. Benefit of playing the chamber. It's access to all of these off angles. There you have it. The ISO shield is used well, and Monarch know they can usually accelerate into A. They're mixing it up this time, though, breaking down the door and opening up a B site post plant. Now in this post plant, they're going to have access to a steel garden, and Fate loves to take these early fights. No, Swerve is right on the other side, but the paint shells mean they can't stick around for long. There's going to be pressure coming in as soon as this door is open as well. Snowy taps that, and Logic is ready for it in an instant. Mask light up the kill feed, and Fate on 11 HP takes the one-on-one, but even if you get that kill, you're a sitting duck out on site. Trying to take as much time as possible, and Fate is going to come straight back into Snowy's waiting arms. The round belongs again to Mask.
I feel like Monarchs, they're on the right track. They're getting the spike down now at least, and being able to get into these post-hunt positions. This was the closest round they've had all game. A 1v1 at the end. Yes, the ISO ult was a little bit of a struggle to come back out of for Fate, but still, the idea is there, and I think now they're finally starting to adapt here. Being able to get that information, push the chamber back off the line, and then re-hit towards that B, or at least split onto a site where they know that Mask is either rotating off of or rotating through to try to get those picks. I do want to see a little bit more from Willow on the Vice, being able to lurk and get some rotations caught off guard at least, because that's going to be the real reason why they put a pin in their rotations and be able to fight it.
Oh no. Yeah, Mask for the first time ever are advancing for this Rebel fight, and actually for the first time, Willow, there's 2 kills. Ask and you shall receive. Monarch in a 3-on-2 now. They killed Rotten for the first time in the previous round, and this time hearing that Omen's ult instantly hit the brakes. She could be anywhere. Where do they go from here? Prowling back towards B. Instantly, Zoe adjusts to the information. Actually, Masker just hard reading this pivot. 2 rounds in a row. And there Zoe is. Bringing it to even. Remember, Monarch think Rotten could be anywhere on the map right now. Would they expect her to be directly behind their chamber that's just charging into the site? And it'll be Willow, 3 kills into the round, taking the first for Monarch.
I talked about Willow getting those picks, and they really proved it that round. Being able to get that front B pick and also set the team up for success for coming back into that B. I think this was a really nice round from MOX, and I think this is what we were talking about, where they need to change it up just a little bit, making sure they're playing a little bit more aggressive, finding where they're fighting and not being scared to fight back, but then also pivoting in the mid round to be able to get that spike down. And now they're going to be in a bloodbath towards this long C for the first time in a while here in third.
Yeah, the first early rounds looked like this, but it has been a while. Mask trying to mix it up as Monarch might just wait for the smoke to fall and then look for the quick reclear. In, and now the dive up and backwards. That leaves Fate out in the open. No one else is there to actually trade. Kind of got sold out a little bit there on the ISO, as the rest of the team decided better of it. Don't know if there was counter utility or whatnot, but now they're going to run straight into the chamber. Good utility. Spot Zoe with the Prowler. Sends the chamber back into the A site, but it seems so early on that already Mask have started shifting their entire squad onto the A side. Zoe's still alive behind the tree, and on the stinger of all things, takes out 2. Willow dominated the previous round, but now in the 1-on-4 will not be able to do a thing. Rotten brings Mask up to 9.
Zoe's positioning that round was absolutely phenomenal. That was the main reason why that round was won. Not only were they able to get 2 in tree, but in the beginning of that round, getting such a deep line towards A, almost having all of Rebel if they wanted to. Not even getting that first pick, but then re-peeking through the smoke in order to guarantee that this team is coming out, and getting that contact and relaying that information was so nice to watch. Falling back into that tree was also a very good setup. But again, this C fight, seems like Monarchs hasn't really figured out how they want to do it yet, leaving Fate out in the open that last round to take that fight by themselves. But immediately the ping pong comes in, and they're going towards the safe side.
New angle from Zoe is deadly to the extreme, and Blair even was chopped down to 31 health. Even through a wall or something. Still though, shotgun in hand. Can do some damage. Nice work from Fate, but we're dying to the boom bot. Oh no, and now Zoe connects on the other end of things. Zoe has 3 kills here. That's gotta sting. I think Fate missed the shot onto the shield.
Last round.
And in doing so, opened himself up straight for the Boombot kill.
Yeah, that was a tiny bit unfortunate. But man, do Mask look good. It feels like all their little micro decisions on everything that they're doing around the map, as well as even when they're gambling towards those fights, is so nice to watch. Their tempo has been phenomenal. And again, this is Monarch's map pick, and they're struggling this hard on their attack. It's not looking good. But we're going to see Zoe with the SOP again, setting up towards that deep A line. Han is not going to grab her, but she does get to TP back to site.
This time, no dice. And the door opens. Spike is front B. Willow's just stepping into that one. Again, I think Monarch have not had the support behind these opening duels, but as the pinch comes into B, it shows up in a big way. Mask trying to frantically show up onto this site as Logic crushes back in main, and now on site on the other side of the smoke. Blair whips around and lays out Rotten. Zoe has now come all the way around the world. Oh my word, what is going on? Claims control over the spike, switches back into the operator. Hilarity ensues for the Red Bull clutch.
What a round. That was so scary for Zoe for a second, whiffing a couple of those headhunter shots, but it's okay because the clutch came in. What a crazy round. Both these teams so proactive. Monarchs, they got the information, they fell back towards that B split, but as they were B splitting, Mask decided to trap play and crunch onto that front B, which then they crunched back into Mask. It was kind of an insane round. But it's okay, because Monarch here, they really need to win this pistol. It is so important for them to get back on track and have a hope at winning out this match. 11-1 is such a hard scoreline to come back to, and this pistol is the most important part. They're opting to fight towards this long C. They're not holding back.
Oh no. Zoe already got the first one. And Mask were just waiting for it in its entirety. Monarch had even tried to push a couple players out front B. That didn't go well for them either. They tried to pull something out of nowhere on this pistol round, but it gets instantly shut down. Logic secures the 3K. Just continues to run away with this thing.
Yeah, this is hard for Monarchs now. They have to force, they have to put everything they have into this round, which isn't a lot. They're not going to have that much util. They're not going to have that much firepower in terms of weapons. 2 Stingers on the side of MOX, but they need to figure out a plan here. And it looks like just for now, they're opting to do this 4-1 towards B, trying to fight forward and at least get those trades in.
But look at the hold. Snowy's in a great spot for this, and Swerve is right around the corner as well. To swing out and punish. Dodges away from the paranoia, and Snowy has her teammates back. The first pick again goes Mask's way. The early control there on full display. You even have Zoe stealing up forward on A to not again. We have not gotten 2 Boombot kills in one map in 14 rounds. We haven't done it. It isn't happening. Close your eyes, people. This is not real. Maybe Willow can try and right the course of this ridiculous comedy cruise ship. As the fight up from Swerve will go straight into Simulacra. 3-on-3 now. The force means that Monarch still have a shot in this round, but with all of Mask bundled up in tree, stacking up on top of one another, Monarch needs to go at this together. They're giving 1-by-1 fights over. We're not expecting that 3-stack. Willow clutched up to win the sole round of this map for Monarch, but now with 3 standing in their way, Mask will cruise through this one 13-1. It's over.
Yeah, that was a rough game for Monarchs. And for me, I'm looking at this next map if I was them. I need to have a mental reset because
I wouldn't look at the last map, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would not look at the last map. I'd move on to